Now, which of you, forgive me because I've been very busy with a lot of, I haven't had time to do the proper kind of research, but which of you gentlemen dated Martha Stewart?
That was Phil.
I'm sorry?
That was Phil.
That was Phil.
Yeah.
And which of you gentlemen, you know, found the singer Frankie Lane to be a big influence on your life?
That was me.
That was you.
Well, as you know, Frankie Lane influenced you, and then you, of course, helped me a lot. Like Jack Parr was your part-time mentor. I just want to say you've been mine. Thank you. And you helped me get Saturday Night Live, as you know. And
who?
you do.
I helped you get Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
Who the hell? Who's my guest? Who is this? Now, the truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you in on, I don't want to be too inside here. Both of these guys, when I met them, were, you know, how do you say it in a kind way?
Losers. Losers is the showbiz term.
It was a little bit more than that. These guys, please. I was a movie star, and these guys were passed out drunk in a gutter one day, and my car pulled up to go into Chase, and I looked down at these guys, and I sensed that they had something. And we ended up in a movie, I think about 1986, and I said, you know, these two guys, they're drunk. You know, they're not actors, and they're scuzzy, they're dirty, they haven't bathed in a long time. But, you know, when you have like an eye for talent the way I do, I put them both in this movie. Let's run the clip from Last Resort with Phil Hartman first.
Wake up! It's aerobics time! Come on, dudes and chicks, put a little boogie in it! Get the hell out of here! See you later! What time is it?
It's 5 a.m., Dad!
Jesus Christ!
Did my audio go in there?
Thanks for showing that, Chuck. We're proud of that work.
That was great. No, that was great. That's why I did show it. I thought that was great. You were part of the chorus of Last Resort, of the welcoming group there, and I spotted you and wrote this scene for us. And frankly, honestly, because it's cable, I think it's okay. Phil and I dated for quite a period of time after that. You know, we're both happily married now, but there was a period where we
there was some ambivalence.
Yeah, there was some ambivalence. There was some ambivalence. Now, just to establish Mr. Lovitz, because this guy can sink into a depression quicker than anybody ever saw. Let's show John Lovitz and me in this same movie as he came out of the gutter and showed real acting ability.
Thank you.
And this is from Last Resort with John Lovitz.
2 red fruit cocktails.
Quelque chose à boire?
I don't speak, 2 red fruit cocktails.
Oh, 2 fruit cocktails.
Yeah.
Red.
Right.
You have tokens?
What?
Tokens.
Token.
Do you speak English?
That's what I'm speaking, English.
What?
There actually were about 8 more watts in there, and they cut the watts, and that was the best part. John, you actually, after that picture, you kind of like went into a great decline, as I recall.
Yes, I did that movie, and then the next thing you know, I had 2 other movies and Saturday Night Live, and then the whole country was imitating me about 5 months after I did
John,
that
I said you went into a great decline. You
Yes.
have to listen to the question. You don't describe
a sentence.
ascendancy.
You don't listen, and neither
You
do
describe
I.
an ascendancy there. This was a decline.
Exactly.
You know what? When I think of you, John, and of course I never do, but looking at you right now, you know, you're like a master schmoozer, really, aren't you? I mean, I don't leave the house. Phil doesn't leave the house. You are out every single night working Hollywood, working New York, where you know everybody.
Yes.
You know all the stars.
I am the schmooze king.
And
I am the king.
Have you found that, like, you know, sucking up to all the studio heads and Penny Marshall and De Niro and everybody the Baldwins and everything, you're always with it. Has that helped your career?
Well, it's 10 years later. I'm still working, and it helped with you. I mean, I'm on your show, aren't I?
Yes, yes, it did, John. But that's for nostalgic reasons, you know. I
Well,
love.
what about you? When you sucked up to Johnny Carson, did that help? Or Tom Snyder? I imagine you must have. You must have. No?
Is there a way to reach through the satellite and, like, has anybody reached through the satellite? John was with me once, and I did an interview. We were just hanging around here. I did an interview with that reporter from the Midwest or something. It was after some show. We were just hanging around together. Remember that? And And this
Yeah, after
woman,
Letterman.
and I was supposed to be doing like an interview, and it was just one of these like, you hope to do a comedy interview, and she like wanted to stab me with her pen eventually. Remember that?
Yeah, and afterward you were joking around, and then she laughed, and you said, watch, she's going to slam me. And indeed, she did.
That's right. So you can't really like kid around with people unless they're like, you know, gentlemen like yourself. But the truth of the matter is, and I want the audience to know this, these guys really were nothing when I met them. And I did make a phone call to Lorne Michaels at Saturday Night Live, and they went on to become very big stars. You don't see this reflected in their bios. You really don't. I want to say this to you. I wanted to be gracious here. Nowhere in their bio do you say, we don't have careers without Charles Grodin. This guy drunk. First of all, I took you into more NAAA, all your programs, took you through everything, and you came out. This gentleman on the right is a married man with children. You're a guy who, like, you sucks up to everybody. You're doing great with the suck-up thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a beautiful...
Well, you taught me how to do it.
It's a real...
I'll give you credit.
It's a real career move. John, I read in your bio that you don't want to give up pie.
Yes.
What else haven't you given up? Because, John, you're like twice the size of when I last saw you. No offense, of course.
All right.
No, you look like a slim Douglas Fairbanks Jr. now. Now you look like Douglas Fairbanks Sr., and he's passed away years ago. Now, why is that, John? Are you, President Clinton, have you given up pie? Can I have a shot of President Clinton? See, sitting next to... see, Phil Hartman does President Clinton as an imitation, and I was asking the president if he has given up pie.
No, I have not given up pie. I haven't given up fast food, and I haven't given up pinching the behinds of pretty girls. But, Chuck, I was told by my publicist that I'd get to play with a St. Bernard if I did this show. Where is Beethoven?
Well, you know, we're going to send that. We don't want to have him on the show because he's not that controllable. You know, I also see that, I didn't know that you did, and I'm not going to ask you to do this for a second, but I see that you do Saddam Hussein, which I had no idea of that, and because I'm asleep by the time Saturday Night Live is on. And this character, John, that you did, that I particularly, I'm not that, what's this character, Eddie Spinoza? Who is Eddie Spinoza? He's a sleazy nightclub owner, is that what he is?
Yeah, I like old movies a lot, so I based it on, you know, those gangsters in the movies from the 40s. It was like a guy on the phone to his mother. I was like, hello, Ma. Yeah, it's me, Eddie. Eddie Spinoza, your son. S-P-I-M-O-Z-O. Oh, Eddie.
Okay, excuse me, John. What if Eddie Spinoza, what if Eddie Spinoza called Saddam Hussein?
Oh. Hello, Saddam. It's Eddie. Eddie Spinoza, your son. S-P-I-M-O-Z-O. I didn't know till now that my father was Saddam Hussein.
What a great improviser you are.
As far as the pie question,
that was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was very similar to Eddie Spinoza calling his mother, but no, because but it was very, what an electrifying improvisation.
Let me just say, since you brought up the pie and my weight gain,
yes,
you see, when I met you, I was dead broke and I had no money, you see.
Sir.
And then, of course, you helped me get Saturday Night Live, and then, of course, I could eat at restaurants, and I got fat.
Yeah.
So I ate pie every night, and the reason I eat it is because I figure when I'm 70, I don't want to go, oh, gee, I could have had that pie 40 years ago. Why didn't I?
You women are exploited because you want to be exploited. No, you want someone to take responsibility for your life and take responsibility for your problems. If I don't exploit you, you'll find someone else who will.
This is a CNBC News Break. I'm Darby Mullaney. An update on Wall Street following yesterday's bumpy ride. The Dow rose 33 points to finish at 89.70. The Nasdaq gained 13. Strong consumer spending is moving the economy at a much faster pace. The Commerce Department says the gross domestic product grew at an annual rate of 4.8% for the first quarter. Another partnership, this time in the healthcare industry. Managed care giants United Healthcare and Humana are merging in a $5.5 billion deal. The U.S. has imposed economic sanctions on Pakistan after the country followed its rival India's lead by conducting nuclear tests of its own. Pakistan's president has also declared a state of emergency. And a loss in the entertainment world. Actor and comedian Phil Hartman and his wife were found dead in their California home today. Police suspect that Mrs. Hartman shot her husband first before turning the gun on herself. More news in 30 minutes.